Guys, we're back. ISO Ani, and it's all access with ISO Ani. And before we start, you know what you got to do, guys. Subscribe to the YouTube channel at Texas Rank and at ISO_Ani. Follow us on Twitter at Ani_Umana or at Texas Ranked. Follow us on Instagram, ISO_AniU and at Texas Rank. See James at Texas Rank, he has a little simpler. It's just at Texas Rank. For me, I got like ISO Ani_Umana. So I apologize. I'll make it simpler. But appreciate you guys, man. I really love the support that we've been getting these past shows. Over 2,500 views. I really want this episode to get to 3,000. I got some stuff for you guys, information. We're going to, I'm going to come with it today. So I was at Pangos Camp, as y'all know, in the previous episode with Tobias Bass. We did our May Top 31 that I was going to be out there. And it's been a week since the Pangos Camp. So I'm not going to really just go like standouts and this, that, and the third. I'm going to be a little creative. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 10 evals. Then I'm going to go my starting, like if I had to do an all-star game, who would be my 10 guys I just want for an all-star game? Not my 10 best players. These 10 guys that I'm evaling in the beginning aren't the 10 best players in the camp. It's just guys that I just saw that I was intrigued by and just want to talk about. So I'm going to go evals. Then if I had to run an all-star game from that Pangos camp, who would be my 10? So let's get to it. Add this to the stream. And here we go. First, on these evals, I had Styles Phipps. He's an Arizona native, won co-MVP, I believe, in that top 60 game, all-star game. His numbers weren't great, averaged like 9.8 points per game, but that all-star game, he was really good. He really finished strong. He's a crafty scorer, can really get to the paint, just knows like hang dribbles, change of speeds. Well, he's just a real crafty, shifty guard that can score it in bunches. Jaden Toombs, he was very effective at the camp, averaged a little over 13 points per game, 6 rebounds, a block a game. And the Nike Elite 100 camp, it showed like the measurables, like height and wingspan. And it makes sense. Like I always talk about Jaden, like just quick with his hands, can get rebounds when you don't know how the hell he gets rebounds, can block shots when you don't know how he blocks some of these shots. But he sports a 7'3" wingspan. Jaden really uses length. He's moving better because he's lost weight. A lot of weight in his body, just like, he's lost weight, he's adding muscle, he's moving better, he's shooting it, he's finishing with either hand. So Jaden Toombs, I've really been impressed just with his overall performance, not just at Pangos, but just overall. Like you can just tell that he's really coming to his own, and there's a lot left. I think his best basketball is ahead of him. Mercy Miller, this is a U of H commit. Man, 224 kid, he's talented. He reminds me, I won't say he's Marcus Sasser, but the way that he scores at his own pace, and even when there's a defender up in him trying to rattle him and speed him up and he doesn't get rattled, gives me Marcus Sasser type vibes. Mercy just playmaker, score, can, connect from long range. I think he was one of the best guards at the camp. He was arguably the best guard at the camp. I mean, the numbers he had good numbers, but maybe he didn't have the highest numbers, but just his effectiveness and his efficiency, was really, really good. And before I get to the next person, guys, I have this Pangos logo, but on the top right, I have the XSM logo. Shout out to XSM. That's Chris Walker and that's Alan Branch. They provided live stats for the third straight year at Pangos. They're also going to do third straight year for the NBPA Top 100 camp in Orlando, which I will be at. This is very helpful. When you talk about stats and analytics, people want to always fight back and forth about it. But the stats really helped me on, okay, maybe I saw a kid have a bad game, but you go back and stats, well, the past 2 games, he's averaged 15 points off 50% shooting. So it's like, okay, maybe I need to really check him out again. Let me not, just throw him off because he had a bad game. Or even someone on the opposite way, like someone had a big time game. Oh, he's a dude, this, that, and the third. But you look at his numbers, he wasn't very efficient, right? So it just doesn't make you just be like in the heat of the moment, like, oh man, like he's like that when, numbers just show what the reality is. And I think this is very needed, especially camp settings, is tournaments. It just helps with the eye. It's not for an evaluator to be lazy and not watch games. This is if you're out evaluating and watching games, you can't catch 3 games in yeah, you can catch 3 games in an hour, but you're not close, like you're bouncing around. So since you can't be everywhere at once, the stats at least help you confirm what you're looking at, or maybe have to let you look at something differently. So shout out to XSM, shout out to Chris Walker, shout out to Alan Branch. This was very helpful for me, and it was helpful for even the NBA teams and other evaluators as well. So going back to this Hudson Greer, I've talked about him at length, in the past couple months. Now he's really healthy. He's showcased his athleticism. The shooting was well. I think shot a little over 40% from 3 at the camp. Averaged 19 points per game, which was very impressive. He was one of the best 225 performers at the camp, I believe. And Hudson just, he was dealing with the injury, in April. And I said this before, but you could tell in early May he was just struggling to kind of get back into a groove. And he's back at it. He's back at it at Pangos. This was good, more of a looser up and down camp. You can really see how athletic he is. Nas Cunningham, he was number 1 in that 224 class earlier on. I know he's dropped some, but man, when you see the talent from this kid that's at OTE, really got the spots, shot it well. I thought he shot it pretty good when I watched him. He averaged about 15 points per game, about 4 rebounds, over an assist. He can really get the spots, rise up and score. He has good length. I think he has a good feel for the game. When his motor is on, he's really, really effective. He's a good athlete, especially vertically. Saw him just, rattle the rim with some transition dunks. I like Nas. I think the upside is really there. I know people say like, well, he's not always consistent, or he leaves you kind of wanting more. And I can see where that stuff can come from. But I thought just from a talent standpoint, he really has it. And when he's locked in and when he's comfortable, even when I saw it with the Rens a little bit, I think he's, he shows that he's upper tier player in that class. So really like what I saw from Nas Cunningham. This was my probably second or third just viewing in the spring, just really sit down and just really lock in and watching him. But this Pangos camp, I got to see some more things out of his game. Rakees Passmore, I like him. I like this kid. He's about 6'5" wing, strong, tough, does a little bit of everything. Obviously his athleticism just really strikes at you. Like it just strikes at like, whoa, like this kid is really, really athletic. He finishes with a lot of power. But I saw some playmaking. I saw some scoring, some creating, especially some 3-point launching and making. Rakees, when he blends his athleticism with his skill and his scoring, he's a super effective basketball player. And we got to see that at Pangos. And he was just super effective, super efficient. And I thought that he was just one of the best wings I saw at the camp. Con Knuppel, we talked about efficiency. Con shot way over 50% from the field. Let's take a look at his assist numbers, his just assists and everything like that. Like Con has a high feel for the game. He can handle, pass, shoot. He's not someone that's going to play high off the ground, but like he just knows how to use his body and get the spots, and just real crafty and nifty just with his finishes and stuff. And actually he shot 76% from the field, guys. So just tells you about how efficient and how effective he was. I really like what Con Knuppel just brought to the table with his versatility on the offensive end and just his high feel for the game. Nathan, I'm probably going to misspell this last name, but we're going to try Girin Gompo. Another athletic, tough wing prospect, averaged about 19.5 points per game at the Pangos camp. I just like his toughness. I like that he can defend multiple spots. I know I'm talking defense in the camp, but I thought Nathan can really provide a lot of stuff on the defensive end. I think offensively, just, in a camp that's more transition up and down, showcasing athleticism, we got to see that out of him. And no one really knows that he averaged about 20 points per game. He was uber effective. He was just tough. His motor stayed on, and guys like that at this camp, they can really thrive. Jace Richardson, he was someone that I heard was also getting through injuries. He had an injury plague season, and man, this is my first time really watching him and sitting down watching him. This is the son of Jason Richardson, which people know him from his time with the Golden State Warriors and was a pro for a good while. Jace is a lefty, unlike his dad, who was like a 2-foot leaper in power. This kid is a 1-foot leaper and just real finesse with his finishes. But I thought he was having fun out there. I saw some windmill dunks. I just saw a lot of transition finishes. I saw him utilize his quick first step to get to the rim. I saw a lot of paint touches. I saw some playmaking, some good feel on his passing. I thought, if this is Jace Richardson, obviously high major player, but I'm excited to see what the summer and the next season holds if he can just continue to stay healthy. But I really was impressed with just his overall play. I like that. I like guards that can get to the paint and can make the right decisions. That's what Jace did. Darius Adams is a 225 kid, another kid that averaged, I think, about 16 points per game. Him and Hudson really stood out to me. Just Darius with his playmaking, his scoring, felt comfortable out there. Even though 225 is only a year behind 224s, it does make a difference, guys, because the older guys are going to probably be more dominant with the ball. But Darius just really fit in. His teammates trusted him early, and he made plays for himself and others. And I'm impressed by that. I'm impressed by the guys that aren't the rising seniors still making plays at these type of camps, because it can be dominated by the older guys. So that's my eval, my top 10. So now we're going to get to these all-star games. So I'm having fun with this, guys. These are just guys that, if I had to coach an all-star game, this is what I want. This is who I want to have. So it's no love lost. So here we go. My Pangos ISO Ani's official Pangos all-star lineup. Boogie Flan, got to have him. Guard, one of the best guards in his class, just does it all at the guard spot, play, make, score, shifty, just high-level passer, high-level scorer, high-level finisher, plays versus length very well. So really impressed by Boogie. I got to have that at the PG spot. Tahad Pettiford, I would love just a Tahad and Boogie Flan backcourt, especially in the All-Star game. Tahad's super athletic. He flies up and down the court. He scores it. He can score it in bunches. I don't know who's guarding a Boogie and Tahad Pettiford backcourt. Those guys would just be super fun to watch. It'd be super fun to coach. And I just really like what I saw from Tahad, not only just in the EYBL, but just in Pangos. Just a fun, eye-popping rim finishes, just the scoring. How he just gets to spots and score, and then he'll play with the ball and then step back, fade away threes and makes. I like that stuff. It's All-Star game. I like that stuff. So definitely that would be my backcourt. And Larry Johnson, was super impressed with him. This is a kid, plays for that Team Thad group, 6'5", athletic. Another, you want that wing to really be able to get to the rim and finish, have a raise away that he can score inside the arc, but also provide 3-point shooting as well. So Larry Johnson will be in there. He averaged over 20 points per game at Pangos. Ryan Jones is one I really like, just because he's 6'8", he's strong, and he can really shoot the basketball. Shot over 50% from the 3-point line and actually led the camp in 3-point makes. You need that. When you got guys that can just get to the basket, you need some floor spacing. Ryan provides that as a trail guy, as a pop guy, as someone that can kind of even get it on the wing, take limited dribbles, step back into a three. I was super impressed with him, and I think his game really translates, and he's really improved as well. And then at the 5, you got to get someone that cleans up everything, and that's Flory Badunga, who shot over 80% from the field. Yes, I repeat, he shot 80% from the field. Flory is one of the best players in his class, the top center in 224, lefty. His skill set's coming along. There's still some ways away, but his motor, his athleticism, that's why you see him with the trophy right here. He was co-MVP of the top 30 game. You got to have a big man like him that just flies up and down, outruns the opposing big, dunks everything, tries to rebound everything, block everything. But also, like, he can kind of face up a little bit, just blow by guys and just put anybody in the rim. Got to have that as my big man. So this is not, I wouldn't say just my starting five, but this is just a five that I really would want if I want an all-star game. And this is this selection from just the Pangos camp. So my next five, so if I had to bring them off the bench, this is like a different speed and just different feel of it. So y'all gonna see this. Y'all gonna probably look at me kind of crazy, but it's all good. It's all good. So hold on, it's taking a little bit of a time. All right, we here. Here we go. All right, so Rob Wright, who averaged, come on, clear up. All right, who averaged 29 points per game at the Pangos camp. This is a Baylor commit. Really crafty with the ball. Always got to spots. He's 6 foot. So, I mean, he doesn't have like crazy ideal size, but man, he's super productive. And a kid like him that led the camp in scoring. I saw some high level passes. You just never knew what he was going to do when he had the ball. He just makes the defense guess. He plays chess. He can just see the play before the play happens. And just his scoring prowess was really impressive. Like if I go Boogie Flan and then coming off the bench, I got Rob Wright. I mean, the other team just got problems. I don't care who you got. Victorious Miller. This was another player that was just really big time as well. And also on this list that I probably missed was Cam Scott. Cam Scott deserves to be on this list. Before I get on Victorious, I knew I missed somebody, but big time scorer at 6'5" at the wing position. Would love to have Cam Scott on here. So just want to note that. But Victorious Miller, the 6'5" guard that can really score the basketball, really thrived in the open court atmosphere at Pangos. Saw just a lot of shot creating, saw him really just like keep the defenders at bay with a lot of just type of dribbles and hesitations and changing speeds. And I know inconsistency, like outside of this was somewhat in question, but man, like if this is how he's going to be going forward, I mean, this is why was always highly ranked, and he's still highly ranked just off the natural talent ability. So love to have him as my just another guard. So I'm running a 3-guard lineup right here. So I got Junie Mobley, and the reason I picked Junie was because of the shooting. Like there's not a shot he doesn't like, and when he gets hot, I mean, guys, when this dude gets hot from the field, it is a spectacle. So this is why I like to have him on here, because he can really shoot the basketball. He can score it. And when you talk about with Rob Wright, Victorious Miller, and Junie Mobley, it's like you got to just pick your poison. Like who do you want busting your head open? So like that's why I really like about it. Junie really just fits like the all-star game, play and just that fun that comes with it. Obviously, it's competitive. I mean, it's competitive. It's not really competitive, but it's competitive, if that makes any sense. Like they're not really playing too hard, but like it is a somewhat competitive atmosphere. But I think like guys like Junie Mobley, Victorious Miller, Rob Wright, they bring the fun of it. And this kid right here, Darion Sutton, this kid is from goes Accelerated Prep in Colorado. He was originally 223 reclass to the 224 class, and St. Louis native, man, about 6'9". Long arms, athletic, just intercepts passing lanes. When he's going up trying to dunk, you're not trying to block it. This kid has a lot of upside. His best basketball's ahead of him. He's had a growth spurt in the past year or so. This kid, super impressed by. I think he has a lot of tools. I think we can see him play basketball for a decent amount of time. Past college, honestly, I think he has that type of upside. But I think a kid like him that's 6'9", long, athletic, still raw in some areas, but can just really make plays. Offensively, he's more further along. I know I've been talking about athleticism, but he can make open shots. The shot's not bad. He can put the ball on the floor some. Like, there's some real upside potential with him. I would just enjoy a front court with him and the next guy, Farrell Compton, who just an animal on the glass. He tries to dunk everything on sight. He's aggressive. He plays hard. He's going to talk his ish. A Sutton and Farrell Compton front court would be fun. And every time a shot goes up, by Rob. Rob's going to throw the lobs. Victorious Miller is going to get his shot, and Junior Mobley, who's going to shoot from damn near half court. But you got those guys cleaning up or playing in transition. They're guys that they can throw it to, and it's going to finish with above the rim play. I mean, there's nothing like it. So if I had to pick a 10 guys, and Cam Scott will be on there. I don't know who I'll take away, but Cam Scott would have to be in there. He'd probably should be my first 5. He was that good. Cam Scott was really that good. Average, I think, over 20 points per game. Let me check on that real quick. But was super effective. I know I talked about it a little bit earlier, but guys, he was one of the best players at the camp, and there's a reason that he's high in the national ranking list. So he averaged 24.8 points per game. So I probably put Cam probably in that first 5. Just with his efficiency and scoring, and then he provides some outside shooting. So I want to do something a little different, guys. Just with Pangos. I mean, yeah, people have their standouts. I have articles at ballslife.com, me and Ronnie Flores and Roger Bond, that talks about the highlights of Texas players and how they did, just stock risers, player rankings, performance rankings that Ronnie Flores does. So there's a lot of content. Go on ballslife.com and check out all that we have on there. And then the next thing, and I'm gonna finish it out, guys. Shout out to Team USA 16U. Won the gold medal at the FIBA's Americas. And you're gonna see this highlight right here. And they made history. I mean, this was not first round, guys. This was not the first round game. This was the gold medal game. And I'm not lying, that's 118-36. They almost won by 100. I mean, they're 18 points away from winning by 100. Loaded group. You talk about Cameron Boozer, those guys. I heard a lot about Darian Peterson, and I really was impressed by him. I talked about him in my Adidas episode. Excuse me. 225 kid. He's a guard, 6'5". Was one of the most efficient players. I think shot over 70% from the field. Led the tournament in steals. Averaged a little over 16 to close 17 points per game, I believe. I don't know if it changed. And that was in 18 minutes of play. Darian Peterson, again, in that 225 class, they talk. It's Cooper Flagg, Cam Boozer, Koa Pete, but I think Darian Peterson has put his name in that conversation. I know he has. And his play here has been great. I think his play, every time you watch him play, is great, and it translates. I think he has a chance. When I say that, he has a chance to be a super effective college player when that time comes. And I think you'll see his name get announced in the NBA draft one day. I think Darren has big time potential. He's always efficient. He's always productive. He's a big guard that can play, make, and score. And shout out to, again, the Team USA 16s. Big time. Big time wins. It was a little too easy, as it seemed like a lot easy, from that score. So just definitely want to highlight them and that group of guys, and just going out there, gelling with each other quick, and just provide some dominant wins. So the next I'm gonna talk about, and then we'll close out. Kansas State, Arthur Kaluma, transfer from Creighton. He's going to Kansas State. I know he's rumored to potentially go to Texas Tech. Alabama was in there. I know Grant Nelson, I believe, is going to Alabama. So that's a big time get for Alabama too, which needed big time some a boost in that front court play, and Grant really provides that. But Arthur with K-State, bringing in Tyler Perry from UNT at the guard spot, losing Noel, and then just Art, I like him. He has a chance to be an NBA player one day. He's 6'8". He's strong. He's skilled. He can play out on the wing. He can play the 4 position. If you want to go, I don't want to say small ball, but if you do want to go small, there's a lot of things you can do with him because he's versatile. I think Jerome Tang and that staff, Jerome Dowling, Yerrick Maligi, and just that whole crew, I think they'll do a really good job with him. I think you'll see I won't say a different Arthur, but I think you'll see what Arthur really could become. And I think it's a big time pickup for him. I think he's going to add a lot of versatility to the lineup, and he bolsters it as well. So want to just talk about Art. Grant Nelson, another big pickup. That transfer portal is like, okay, it is dying down. And I know there's a lot of kids still in the transfer portal, but there's still limited options. You know, that's conversations I've had with college coaches, but been really good. We're impressed with just, you know, some of the guys and where they're going in the fits. And I think that, you know, we'll see like how it all pans out, you know, during the season. I'm excited about the college basketball season. I know we're in June, but I'm really excited just see how these guys that transfer from the mid-major level to the high major level, or, you know, some of the guys that even transfer down, just seeing them get a fresh start, like a CJ Nolan. And I'm not like dissing UNT because CJ Nolan is going down, but like seeing him in that atmosphere, I think we'll get to see more of what he brings to the table, and especially when he gets his confidence back up, I think that's a really good pickup. So that's my transfer portal notes, guys. I'm quick with it. I'm excited about just what's ahead with the high school stuff. I mean, we got TABC, then we got Orlando NBPA camp, then we got Charleston, South Carolina in July, and then for me, I got the Synergy event plus NBA Summer League. So it's busy time for me. Pray for me. Pray for safe travels. And you guys have a good day. Y'all stay out of trouble. And man, let's just keep supporting this show. It's fun. I'm having fun with it. And if there's any suggestions, if there's anything y'all want to talk about, please let me know. Drop it on the comment section. DM me. My DMs are open. Not that way, but you know, just any suggestions, anything you want me to talk about, I'm always open to talk about it. If it's anything crazy, I'm gonna tell you no. But like, I definitely am very open to suggestions. So this is it. It's all access with ISO Ani, and I'm out, guys. Peace.